Manhood is exceptionally hard, and life is hard, but how you shape yourself will determine how hard it is for you and how miserable it will be. As a man, there is no easy life. Your life is not about being easy. Your life is not about being happy. Your life is always going to be difficult. All of the pain you feel, all of the sadness you feel, you're supposed to feel as a man. You have two effective binary choices. You either go through the suffering and trauma, the hardship it takes to be a man of value, or you suffer eternity as a nobody. I would argue being invisible is almost worse. You can have a very stress-free life if you work in Starbucks, don't care about the job, clock off, go home, play video games, and exist until you die. That's stress-free. But you have to suffer being a nobody. Alternatively, you can go out into the world, try to leave your mark, work hard, try to get rich, more money, more problems. You can start a business, face the stress of it, risk losing your girlfriend because all you're doing is working. This is a new level of stress, a new level of trauma, but at least you'll be a somebody at the end of it. There are two ways to suffer. You either suffer becoming a somebody, or you suffer as a perpetual and forever nobody. What did Napoleon say? He said, "Glory is fleeting, but obscurity is forever." Absolutely true. Glory is fleeting, but obscurity is forever. And when he says fleeting, that's a really good point. Everything in life is rented, especially your glory as a man. When you have a good body, it is not complete. You haven't finished the task. You must train every day to retain it. Everything is rented. You don't just get a good body and you're done. You still have to go to the gym every day to maintain that body. You don't just get a girl and it's done. You still have to work hard for her to always love you and respect you. You don't just start a business and now you're rich. No, you have to start a business and work on it every day. If you take your eye off it, it will fail. Everything in life is rented. So, when Napoleon says glory is fleeting, he is absolutely correct because you have to constantly and endlessly work for it and ensure that you never stop. Otherwise, it will be taken from you. But obscurity is forever. If you never make a mark on the world, then you effectively never existed. And when you're gone, nobody will care. The reason our father is discussed at length is because of who me and Tristan are. The reason we will be discussed forever is because of who our sons will become. That's very important because you have a duty to your ancestors and a duty to God. So you must make a choice, a genuine choice for you people at home. Do you want to live in obscurity forever, be invisible, not matter, and have an easier life? I would argue that it's not easier because in your heart and soul, you're going to feel guilty knowing you could have been something you're not. Or do you want to try your absolute best, struggle, and suffer every day of your life, paying the rent for all the amazing things around you? We pay endless rent, for our bodies, for our relationships, to keep our kids, to keep our business, to keep our freedom. Every single day is work to pay the rent. It's absolutely never ending, and you have to make that choice. So, you have a pen and paper in front of you. You need to decide, do you want to be invisible with a lower rent bill, or do you want to be important, work hard, and suffer to make sure that the rent is paid? It's a choice you must make, and it's binary. You must be extremely dedicated toward the decision you finally make. Absolutely everything as a man is your responsibility. It's your responsibility to become your best and brightest version of yourself, and you're not going to do that simply by talking it into existence. You need to live it into existence. You need to go out there and do things that are genuinely difficult, genuinely stressful, and genuinely scary so you can become the man you want to be. You have to take responsibility for these things, seek them, and choose the correct difficulties for you to overcome so you can build a character worth having. I believe that it's pain that teaches. I don't believe men, especially, can learn any way besides pain. We talk about learning a lesson the easy way or the hard way, and I'll tell you something, we've all been offered chances to learn the easy way our entire lives, and guess what? We didn't learn anything. We kept doing it. It's natural and intrinsic inside of men. You'll see a man drive a car too fast and almost crash 100 times, and he won't learn his lesson until he crashes that car. We only learn things the hard way. It's only pain that can teach a man. Every single time something bad happens to me, that's how I see it. I see it as God teaching me to make me more wise, more formidable, a more capable opponent. And that's how you have to approach life. Every single hero in every single movie goes through adversity. There's never been a hero movie where all he does is win. No, to be a hero, you have to suffer. If you're suffering in some degree, even if you're a normal guy with a normal job and you're suffering at your job, or you're heartbroken because your girl left you, or whatever, if you're suffering, that's part of your hero's journey. There is no hero's journey without suffering. If you have an easy life the whole way through, you never get to be a hero. That's the whole point of being a man. You're supposed to suffer. You're supposed to eat pain for breakfast. It's supposed to come and grow into a better version of yourself. That's exactly what life's supposed to be about as a man. If you want to be a superhero in life, you need to understand that for 80% of the movie, you're going to suffer. For 80% of the movie, you're going to lose. Watch any superhero movie. For 80% of the movie, it is nothing but pain and frustration and difficulty. And when your life is that way, you have a chance to grow into something fantastic. You should thank God for every difficult thing He puts in your path. Think about a superhero movie. A man is unfairly imprisoned in a Romanian jail cell and trained so hard he emerges stronger than ever before. That is a movie. You get to live a movie as a man. Why? Because we have bravery. Most men sit there and wonder why they're depressed. Because you don't get to live a movie. You're not the main character of anything. You're not even a secondary character in anyone else's movie. You're unimportant, a nobody, because you were afraid your entire life. You've lived like a coward your whole life. You were afraid of what might happen if you have some balls. And then you wonder why you're depressed. I'd be depressed if I was you. Of course, your life sucks. I'd rather go to jail as me than live free as you. Because when you're free, you can't even do anything. You can't go where you want. You're broke. You can't have sex. Girls don't want you. You can't speak because no one listens. So what are you free to do? You're more in jail than I ever was. My mind is free. I'm allowed to think what I want to think and say what I want to say. They have thoughts and they go, I don't know if I should say that. They second guess themselves. They're their own worst enemy. Every single part of me is on my team. I have enemies who want me dead, fine. But every single part of me, my mind, my hands, my legs, every single part of me is on my team. My body doesn't second guess itself. My mind doesn't turn on itself. We don't break and self-sabotage. There's no civil wars inside of Andrew Tate. A lot of men no longer have shame. You have no shame left. You should be too ashamed to be a coward. You should be too ashamed to do the wrong thing. Where's your shame? We destroy that, right? We destroy that even in schools with men and stuff. I tell you something, my brother can shame me into doing something. He can call me a coward, and I'll step up and say, no, I'm not, and I'll do the brave thing. Shame works for men. Sometimes I say to men all the time, men come to me and say, I can't get a girlfriend. I say, it's because you're a loser. You are a loser. Change that fact. Come to me and prove to me you're not a loser. I'll shame him, and he will react to it, and his life will improve. But now we have men with no shame. They'll walk around with no shame.